the Komatov helicopter, or basically all crop dusting, pretty much. You'll see a lot of crop dusting, a lot of crop dusters, and you might want to know or understand what's up with them. Somewhere around 1926 or 1890 or so, I was doing helicopters and aircraft and stuff like that, and I was looking for, basically I'm a manufacturer of cars, LS pretty much, Lucifer Star or whatever, and I was looking for a way to, builder of the Titanic, that kind of thing. And I was looking for a way to make more money, or at least get them sold, or at least prove them technology-wise. A lot of people wondered, what's the point of helicopters and aircraft? Why bother? They're good to play around with, but like most people would say, I wouldn't put much stock in it. So I had to prove them, basically. Now, in the old days, they used to use hand fertilizer, just shoveling poop and other things on there. With Auschwitz and lots of other sites, basically, we had ammonium nitrate. Like I said, I got it from, we researched and distilled, basically, guano, and figured out the ingredients in guano, which is, I believe, maybe a little bit of sulfur and some other stuff, but basically also ammonium nitrate, or whatever. It's a chemical. Anyway, though, but basically we were able to do artificial ammonium nitrate and other synthetic fertilizers, and we created the first little seed packs. There were basically some rice paper, or this paper stuff that would go around seeds, and it would have like this nutrients and stuff inside of it, and you could just take seeds and throw them out the window, kind of like the Miracle Grow or Guaranteed Grow seeds nowadays. Anyway, we initially tried tests with aircraft and stuff like that, because a lot of people said, well, why not just spread it by hand, And I said, well, you could do maybe a bigger area. So I sent a team basically to start researching it and start messing around with it. And they found that they had to quadruple or make 1,000 times the potency of fertilizer. But with a water mixture, they could actually create they could use a much higher, with the proper dispersal height and everything else, it would atomize and give a nice even covering of fertilizer or chemical more evenly than if you just sprayed it or hand did it. And you could do vast areas. Like I say, with one aircraft of sufficient size, or one helicopter of sufficient size, you could do hundreds of acres. You could fertilize hundreds of acres in an hour, basically, or thousands of acres in an hour, pretty much. If with one of my heavy lift helicopters, you could do whole valleys of fertilizer. Just glug, 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 glug. There's your 1,000 gallons of high potency fertilizer. Yeah. And then just, and then you could just, one person could basically fertilize an entire valley. And yeah. LS was #1 again. Like I said, throughout my existence, basically, it's like, basically like, yeah. Like, I think when he hit the stratosphere, LS like hit the another stage blue. Anyway, I was just going up and up and up and up and up and up. Anyway, this was happening around 1890 to 1920, about when helicopters were new, and I was proving my research and proving my science, and basically proving my ideas that helicopters and aircraft could actually work and could actually fly. I was proving the wing concept. Like I said, I had invented the wing and invented the helicopter, and started in Germany, bought Germany with car money and stuff like that, and then I was doing the helicopters, and then I was proving them as a valid thing. Like, originally, people didn't see the point in helicopters for war. They didn't see the point in helicopters for anything other than sightseeing. And realistically, I was happy with that. I didn't really want people using my helicopters for gunships. Farming and sightseeing and inspecting of land or herding of cattle, I loved. I wanted my technology to be a benefit to this world and not a curse, or like the last thing I wanted was for my helicopters or aircraft to be death from the skies, on some woman, child that was killed in their sleep. I did not want that. Certain people had to die that way, yes. There were certain really bad people that had to be hunted down, it's true. But anyway, though, I'm talking about fertilizer and farming. For the vast majority of the stuff, though, we used helicopters for just farming and fertilizing, and basically, as you know, helping the world and basically feeding the planet. Like I said, we were able to fertilize whole valleys. And with mining and other things that I was doing and building the water systems, we were able to supply them with water from the great mountaintops. And with a few dams, you put some dams up there, and then we would dig the mine shaft and dig down and dig around, dig underneath the ground, thousands of feet underground. And the water would be built up inside the big dams, and then they would go down into the valleys, and then they would percolate up and water the whole valley, from the high level. And it would slowly percolate through that dirt or whatever, through the silt barrier. We put up silt barriers. So basically silt would go in and go blah, 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 and then basically it would kind of allow the water to slowly percolate down into the valley. So we could do an open hole, and we didn't even have to use valves or anything. We could just do an open hole and then down and up, and basically the water would flow underneath and flow down the valley inside of our channel, and eventually flow up, and then you just put some dirt on top of it and basically fill up the thing, and then they would slowly percolate into the valley from the mountain. So it's natural percolation. It was really great, and we really didn't have to do much. We just had to mine, and we used the rock we got from the mining we actually used for metal, which built my cars, which I used to buy the country and stuff like that, and make money for people to spend. I was like, here you go. And like I say, people, when they first got metal coins and money and stuff, they were like, well, what good is it really? You can't eat it. And it's like, well, it's not really good. But sooner or later, eventually they were like, hey, these really do work. And they kind of had some value in that you could make stuff out of them, jewelry and pots and pans and stuff like that. And eventually, once there was enough metal in the world, my people just kind of got used to using money. And then we started doing printed money, which, yeah, more stuff happened. But anyway, though, I'm talking about farming and the kamov 26 helicopter. It started out with one, and they were used for crop dusting and all that kind of stuff, and spreading ammonium nitrate, because ammonium nitrate was explosive, and some people used it for bad stuff or whatever, or at least it was dangerous. I had licensed fertilizer people that knew how to deal with ammonium nitrate, because in its dry form, it is very potent and very, it'll burn with anything. So you apply a flame to it and just... So it's very dangerous to be around, and it will even explode if there's enough of it around. So anyway, yeah, most of the explosions were at my ammonium nitrate facilities. Well, after 100 years, I guess a fire and explosion isn't all that bad. Considering I've been doing it for over 250 years, so, or at least I've been doing it since 1800 or 1700. 1700 is really when LS really became like LS. That's when Titanic and I was really proving that humanity, you could live anywhere. You could take my people or take me to the middle of the desert, and there'd be a utopia there soon after. We can live anywhere now. And I could even live in space. I had quite a few different races that were with me, and we used to jump from planet to planet. We created suns, stars. So, everything we've done here, we even added water to the planet Earth. So, anyway, though, but around 1800 or 1890 or 1920, I was proving that helicopters were a valid technique and a valid use for farming. And a lot of farmers actually ended up buying my helicopters and actually regarded their success as basically because of the helicopter. So, anyway, I was very proud and very happy that my technology was not just death from the skies, but also, the food on your table. So anyway, LS, Lucifer Star. Anyway, I'm basically just an inventor. Inventor of wings and flight and aircraft, and leader of quite a few companies for quite a long time. So anyway,